So what I would do first of all is to start by sharing. I thought about doing this because there are certain financial lessons, like when it comes to building a certain portfolio, that you can only learn through this sort of thing, through this sort of like live trading. And that's what the mentorship is about. It's an open community where I really want to share my journey as practically as I can, and also showing you the numbers. You know, one, to encourage a lot of people, especially people in my generation who are late starters, and people who say, "Oh, I didn't start early. I should have started when I'm in my 40s, late 30s. I should have started when I was in my 20s." But that didn't happen. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what age you start. So what matters, because I'm a living example. I'm a late starter, but I'm moving forward. So the numbers are not very big or very exciting, which also proves what I teach, that it is about the consistency. So first thing I want to show you is what I already shared in the group about some penny stocks. And then for those of you from different other countries, listening to this, it's the same principles working in your stock market. So whether you're in the US or UK, and if you want to play in those. But I might be maybe I'm a little bit biased about the Nigerian stock market, for a couple of reasons. One is that it's an emerging economy. It still is. The potentials of this economy have not been scratched. And then also, there's a lot of interest in the Nigerian stock market from institutional investors and foreigners, foreign companies. I may have heard about some institutions like JP Morgan, please don't quote me, or pension planners, pension funds in other countries, even like in the West, being pulled into the Nigerian stock market. And in fact, that's what's giving the Nigerian stock market depth. So there are some very, very strong asset managers from Europe, from America, that have very huge stake in the Nigerian stock exchange. So it is not really a local exchange, in that regard, because a lot of foreigners play in it, giving it a lot of depth and a lot of stability. And I think the market cap right now, I forget the number, but the market cap is close to 100 trillion naira. It's close to 100 trillion naira. Yeah, which is about, I think I mean, I've seen a figure like 56, 53 billion dollars or something like that. So it's not a small market. It's not a small market. And then it continues to grow depth, as Dangote Refinery plans to come into the market, of course, coming with a lot of institutional and international investors, the market is even going to deepen a lot more. So I'm a bit biased because of this data. And then people from different countries. So some of you are Africans in diaspora. You can play in the market. Some of you are from other African countries. You can play in the NGX. It's one of the top stock exchanges in the continent. There's Johannesburg, there's Egypt, there's Nigeria, and then a few other ones are really very tiny, but these are really very big stock exchanges. My other bias comes from the fact that the Nigerian stock market, has maybe about 155 companies right now, under 200 companies that you track. But NASDAQ has more than 3,000. So it's easier for me to do some in-depth research in this market right now than out there. So it's important to invest in the foreign markets, like NASDAQ, or to invest in European stocks and things like that. It's really good if you can do that. But if you're starting small, like myself, I would encourage that you start with one exchange. And when you gain depth, you can play in the other bigger markets. Because, if you're investing, like a couple of young people keep talking about American stocks and things like that. And then when you look at their portfolio, they're putting in $10, $50, $300 or something. But to profit significantly in those markets, like you want to invest in S&P 500, for instance, if you have $100, you will make a lot more money in the Nigerian Stock Exchange than putting it in that place. But then when you now gain volume and you have like tens of thousands of dollars, you can make a lot of money in the New York Stock Exchange as well. So over time, I'm also going to show you how I do my research and how I come up with the kind of stocks I recommend. Like I recommended 2 stocks particularly that I used to make money in the new year. In November, it was Presco. I recommended it to people, who followed me, and I recommended UACN. Presco went from about 415 naira in November, December. By February, it was 780, and by now, it's almost touching 900. So if you had money and then you put in like 100 million naira in November in Presco, by February, that money became 200 million. And so these opportunities exist. And so I also recommended UACN, it was 22 naira. It stood at 22 naira for a long time. So I loaded up on UACN on 22 naira. That was in December. By January, February, UACN went all the way to 37 because they had some really brilliant result at 37 naira. That's a lot. That's a lot for 3 months. So you could actually, if you have volume and you understand what you're doing, you could actually, and it's a cycle in the Nigerian stock market, that usually in November, the stocks are, at a discount. But by January, it goes because the results begin to come out. The third quarter results have come out by November, and then people are waiting for the fourth quarter result. So November, some people are not really sure, and that the market is not really sure. And so typically over the years, I've been playing the stock markets. So November is usually like a very good time to identify very good stocks. By January, they become extremely high because the results begin to come out. And then you find a stock that was 300 naira in November. By late January, February, that same stock goes to 1,500 naira. That was also how I made money in Geregu. I bought Geregu in November. For about 317 naira or something. By February, Geregu went from 315 naira to 1,150 naira. That is within December, January, February, 3 months. You put in 300 naira in November, and then by December, that cycle is there. And then if you've played in the market as long as I have, you know that cycle. And then there's also something happening like around this time when the companies have paid their dividends, the prices are marked down, and at the same time, the quarter 1 result comes out. Like some of these companies have had some really very good quarter 1 results, very impressive quarter 1 results, like UPDC, like QTX, like some of these. If their results continue to improve and do well in the next 2 quarters, these stocks you're looking at that are 3 naira today, you won't get them by the end of by January next year, you won't get them at 20, you won't get them at 10 to 20 naira. So you might find, and I will not be surprised, I don't like doing predictions and all that, but the market is what it is. I won't be surprised if this time next year, QTX becomes a 17 naira stock. And so imagine a stock you bought at 2 naira 50 kobo, and then under 1 year it becomes 17. That's how people are quietly making money in this market. My wife and I were, jogging this morning, taking our walk. And then one gentleman was on phone, he was saying something, he just said something that if you looked at this guy, so I was just telling my wife, look at this guy. You would not know that this guy has a net worth of 10 billion in this estate where we live. Just very simply, if you see him on the road, you wouldn't greet him. And I find that because the rich people, truly rich Nigerians are not on Facebook. It's not all these people are coming there spraying, dollars and whatever, and then showing us cars, and how they are being guarded by mobile policemen and all that. That's nonsense. People making money are quietly doing that. And then some of you heard about Otedola's brother. He invested in the Geregu stock. He bought at 100 naira. And then he exited when Geregu was 1,150. The guy cashed out with 4 point something billion. It was in the papers. It's also online. You can check it. And within 2 years, somebody who invested a couple of hundreds of millions, maybe like 400 million or 300 million or something, and positioned in that stock, exited 2 years after with 4 point something billion. So you can literally retire on the market, because what I keep emphasizing is let your money do the work. It's okay, you are doing your 9 to 5 right now, but have a strategy. If you play this market very well, the financial markets very well, in 5 years, you can literally retire and quit that job and then just spend your time, playing with investments and things like that. So, I'm going to show you how I implemented this. I recommended a few, and I gave you reasons why these stocks, you might look at it, because I have not given enough attention to penny stocks before. This is the very first time. And so what I did was open an account with a separate stockbroker where I do just penny stocks. So I want to see, you might try that strategy. Somebody had asked me in the group. So I want to see my portfolio over time. Even though I see all my portfolio, I can do the analysis of all my portfolio. I have 4 stockbrokers, but in CSCS portal, I see all my portfolio, everything I have, in each of them. But I opened with this particular stockbroker specifically for penny stocks to see how my strategy. There's one stockbroker. All I do there is premium stock. So that's where I have Dangote Cement, I have GT Bank, I have First Bank, I have Zenith, I have what are all these industries, different, whatever, all those premium, I have them in that one. So I want to see over 12 months, over 24 months, over 3 years, how my penny stocks perform as against that. And then I'm getting excited about the possibilities of penny stock outperforming those premium stocks. So those premium stocks are very good with dividends and all that. The dividends are really very handsome. But in terms of capital appreciation, if you put in 1 million naira in a penny stock, and then that penny stock goes from 1 naira to 10 naira, that is 10 million. So most of these big stocks won't do that, for you. So these are the companies. I did a little bit of research that I told you. And like I said, in the course of the Financial Fitness Challenge, I will share with you how I do my research and some of the tools I use, and then what some of these numbers represent. All right. So before we go direct, I'm going directly to the market right now. But before we go there, does anybody have any question or comment? I see there's a chat. Do you invest on penny stock in the US market? I don't. Which stockbroker are you using? And then the reason I don't, the US market is very, very advanced, and it's very, it also operates under a different set of rules, like the Nigerian stock market. For instance, in the Nigerian stock market, before, a couple of years ago, when we started, when I started investing in the stock market, the price movements were restricted. They set the price move to a certain percentage in a day. When I started, it was 5%. It could go either 5% up or it could go 5% down. Now it is 10% in the Nigerian stock market. So there is that margin of 10%. It can go in one day 10% up, maximum 10% higher, and then minimum, it can be allowed to go beyond 10%. But in the US stock market, like many of you know, it's not like that. Everything you put in the penny stock can be wiped out like instantly in one day. I don't think that they have a bottom, so things can just continue to fall until your account hits zero. So I don't yet, but what I do, my own strategy is I pick one asset class and one platform at a time, and I master it before going to other things. Like I do stock market, and I have mastered it a little bit as a layperson, not as kind of big investor, just an ordinary person, who wants to make money work for him rather than me working for money. And now I'm, looking at digital assets. So I'm focusing on that. And even in the stocks, I wanted to master one market. I don't even do ETF. I focused on stocks. I don't even do ETFs and mutual funds. When I started about 20 something years ago, I started with mutual funds. But I like to go, do it myself, fail if I'm failing or succeed massively if I'm succeeding. Okay, actually, your hand is up. So let's take that and then we go straight to the market because things are really happening. That's my
my question is, I'm a novice in this business of investment. I want to know how you make your money. Is it when you buy stocks, for example, for about you invest 1 million naira to buy stocks that cost maybe 2 naira, and then in a few years, it goes up to that stock goes up to like 10 naira, right? So at that price, like 10 naira, do you sell your stocks and you make the money? Is that how you make money in this business?
Okay. So let me speak generally, then I'll talk about what I do. Generally, there are two ways you make money in the stock market. So the first is dividends. So if you invest in companies, the companies make profit, and then from the profit, they decide to share part of the profit to shareholders. So if they made $1 billion, and then there are 10,000 investors, they divide. If they decide, okay, we're going to pay dividends, $500 million instead of 1 billion, then they pay all the 10,000 investors or shareholders based on the proportion of shares that they have. So that is dividend. And the dividend is very good. So I have dividend income from specific companies. And what I do, I focus on companies that have value, companies that are not likely to disappear, and companies that have products that I not only use, but products that people generally can't do without, so that I know that they're not going out of business anytime soon. And that also helps me to manage my emotions. So so those companies I buy to hold for the dividend income and also for capital appreciation. So for instance, I have Presco. I'm not going to sell Presco anytime soon. So as long as they are in the business that they are in, so I'm not keeping Presco because of capital, because I want to sell eventually. It's a very solid business and very solid company with solid facilities all over the place that we can see. So I'm not going to sell Presco. I have MTN. I'm not going to sell MTN. So Presco gives dividends, and at the same time, it appreciates. I bought Presco at about 450. I bought it at a couple of that at 450. It's now 880, almost 900 or something like that. And I'm not selling it. I hold for the long term. And also because it is my long-term strategy and also my legacy, because some of those stocks are things I can leave for my children. Does that make sense? So I can leave those for my children because if they can become part of my estate, it perpetually generates interest for the next 50 years that company exists. So that is one strategy. The other one, I also do rebalancing of my portfolio. So I don't buy to sell, I buy to hold. But even when I'm holding, I do rebalancing of my portfolio. I might see, even within the stocks that I don't want to sell, I might see better opportunities and I liquidate them and get another one. Like I liquidated Nestle. Nestle is a very, very good stock to hold for a long time. But you see, like my people say, there's a proverb that if you see something that's more precious than yam, you will sell the barn and buy that thing. That's how I do my portfolio rebalancing. I didn't want to let Nestle go. But when I saw the opportunity in Presco, I liquidated Nestle. I also liquidated Nigerian breweries, because my Nigerian breweries was not performing for almost 2 years. I bought at about 48 naira, and then Nigerian breweries, the price came down to about 37 and remained like that. And I had a lot of it. So it was a huge loss. I lost hundreds of thousands of naira selling those. But I now put in everything I sold. As soon as I sold them, I put all of that in Presco. Now I've recovered all the losses I had in Presco. I recovered all of them by rebalancing. Now, at some point, I might still choose to have Nestle. Then I'll look for the best entry point to get in. So does that make sense, Chidi? Yeah, so I basically buy to hold. The reason I buy to hold is that I'm not buying price. I'm buying company. The reason I fell in love with Qtix for some reason. It's still a risky investment, but I'm a consultant to Qtix. I coach them. And then one of the times I had engagements, at their facility at Newi, they flew me down there and gave me a tour of their facility. Good God. And I'm like, is it because this company is tucked away in that corner that people don't? It's like I saw value that people aren't seeing. And that's what makes, investing in stocks powerful, because if you can see it before a lot of people see it, which is what I'm going to show you people practically today, because these 7 recommendations I made, I'm seeing value there that people don't see yet. Okay, please mute yourself, David. Now, I saw the quality of their products. I saw the quality of their management, firsthand, which is the sort of thing that you look out for. I saw the quality of their management firsthand, and then decided that, just a second, let me spotlight myself. I'm not sure why Mr. David is the one shown there. I think it's my zone. Just give me a second. All right, let's do that. Okay. So, and then one of the things also that amazed me was that for all the things that Qtix is doing, there's no foreigner. All of them there are local. They are all Nigerians working in that company, making those cables. For some of you who know Qtix cables, or you've done some bit of instruction, I don't know if anybody here knows about them. You can just raise your hand, or say that you do in the chat. They make one of the highest quality cables in the country, and their cables are far more expensive than imported cables. So the product is good. They have facilities, and then recently they added a new line. So you see how I'm making the decision. So I didn't just wake up and say, okay, let me go and buy Qtix. It's a penny stock. But I'm seeing that it's like this company is undervalued. Let me take a position and then wait, put in money that I'm willing to wait for 3 to 5 years. It might go up, it might come down, but as long as it's a high quality company and they're making these cables, which people demand all the time, and which I think they have also started exporting. Because the time I met with them, they were planning to expand to the West African region. I think they have started doing that. I can confirm with them. So that's how I made that decision about, some of these penny stocks that I recommended. I hope that answered the question, Trudy. So that's how I make money, the dividends and also capital appreciation. So I can sell if, for instance, in another 5 years, by this time, maybe Qtix is already 150 naira. And then let's say I bought 1 million right now. And in another 5 years, Qtix is now at 150, 180. It could be crazy. It could just be crazy, because just one news like that, one piece of merger like that, one technical partner comes in from America and then buys up Qtix and then subsidies, like in the next 3 years, this same Qtix, and I think it happened to one company like that recently in Nigeria. This same Qtix that you're looking at 3 naira, a technical partner comes from Sweden, comes from Germany, comes from America, and says, oh, we want to partner with you. And then they put in massive investment into Qtix. This Qtix you're buying at 3 naira. Do you know you will not get it for 1,000 naira? And so That is amazing. And then that's why it's called investing. It carries risks. Nobody knows for sure. That's why you don't invest you don't invest in what you don't know about. And then you also don't invest the money that you can't sleep when you do it. For me, I can comfortably sleep, putting in, $1 million here and there, and then leaving it for 5 years. And then if in the course of holding a stock, I discover that the company is going down, they run into a particular crisis that they're not going to come up, they change management, and then the company is going down and they are going bankrupt, and then they have very bad financial performance consecutively for like 3-4 quarters, I'm going to sell. I'm going to sell. They didn't stamp any of them on my forehead. So I'm flexible. Does that help? Okay.
Yes, it helps. So sorry, just a second. What I understand here is you buy some stocks to earn dividends, and some stocks you keep them as to appreciate. Is that how you do it, or
yes,
are all the stocks they pay dividends?
Yeah, that's a good summary. So I buy to keep, for them to appreciate. And then if I have a bigger project, that's why I was talking about portfolio rebalancing. So I can buy a stock, and then I buy 10 naira, the thing appreciates to 200. And I have a project that is higher value than that. Maybe I want to develop my real estate, develop my landed property and things like that. So I'm not buying, I will never sell that to buy food or to buy car. I can hardly sell my stocks to buy car. The worst I have done was to pay school fees, when the children were in school, but they are all out. But I will never sell my stocks to buy car. I can sell it to buy land. I can sell it to build up, to develop a property, but not to buy clothes or to travel, to go on vacation. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go straight to the market. So incidentally, the stockbroker that I decided to use, so let me log in and then I will share my screen so that you see what I'm doing, is Atlas Portfolio. I really like them. They're very, very responsive. And then we have Esther in the chat. I'm sure she's overwhelmed, but you can also feel very free to reach out to them. All right, let me share my screen and then show you, and then we can go ahead and place the trade, because that's the best way to learn it than just talking about it. So when you open your Atlas Portfolio account, this is what it looks like. And I'm going to show you a few things that I have done. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Or maybe I don't know about it yet, I can ask them. So, but since I use it regularly on my FSDH brokerage account, I'm able to access it, because it looks like it comes with your opening the account with FSDH. So it's called Infoware. This is one of the most important tools if you're going to trade in the NGX, because this is where you're getting real-time data, live data, and then you're going to need this data in placing your trade. I hope you can all see my screen. Can you see what I'm talking?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, because I'm going okay. I'm switching between different tabs, so I wasn't sure if the tabs were switching. When I come to the City Trader, there are a couple of windows I want to have open. One is I want to see the market view. That is where, this same data you are seeing is being pulled into so you can see how busy the market is. This is what people are buying, the quantity they are buying. So every time there's a trade, it registers here. That is down here. You see how fast it's moving? So this even gives you an idea about what people are buying, and then sometimes it can help you to spot an institutional investor. So it's moving fast. You can see mutual benefit. So the market is busy. The market is busy. And see Aradel, lots of it. So you can just look here, see what people are just, the sentiments in the market and what they are buying. Okay, no, it's being recorded. Somebody's sending a request to record. It's already being recorded. So you'll be able to see this. Okay, so this is the market view. The other thing I want to show you, which is also very powerful, is my watch list, because you need to have a watch list. Okay, so this shows me my watch list. So you can see those companies that I recommended for you, I put them on my watch list. And why do you want to have a watch list? So that you will see what is going on with so that instead of monitoring 200 different companies, you have these particular 6 that you're watching. So you're seeing the updates, what is going on, the reference price, the low limit price, and things like that for each of them. And I think I like what what Atlas Portfolio does here, because here you see a widget that also shows you this is in fact crazy. QTix has already, I can't believe it, journeyed to Naira 80 kobo. Okay, the other window I put here to help me to execute my orders is my portfolio. Okay, so what I currently hold in those different places. Okay, and then so before I trade, I actually watch the portfolio. I already had a goal, like for each of these, I want to hold for each of these companies, each of the 7 of them, I want to hold a minimum of 2 million or 3 million of each of them at this time. And so, but I don't have all that capital at the same time. So I look at each of them at the beginning, and then I determine, okay, which of each? Okay, so first of all, take all of them to 100,000, then take them to 500,000 each, take them to 1 million each, take them to 2 million, and things like that. So I look at opportunities. So this one is already a million, and then I need to bring all these other ones up to a million. But then I also want to have them into even numbers, like instead of 1.17 million shares, I want to have like round it off. So I need 30,000. So I do all this math before. So I can start with this one. I can start with this one, which is QTix. So I want to do 30,000 so I can bring it up to that. So I click buy, and then so QTix is already pre-selected for me there. Now, this is where this place becomes important, because I want to see at what price point can I go in, so that I don't lose money as I'm buying. You can actually make profit as you're buying. So I come to Infoware and then look at QTix live data in the market. And in fact, ladies and gentlemen, it's crazy here. It is crazy what's going on here. I cannot believe this, because I have been buying QTix. I bought for 2.50 naira, and now QTix is already they're already asking for 2.90. And then you can see here, can you see my cursor? You can see the number of people who want to buy are more than the people who want to sell. So that's why it's a strong buy, and that's why it's a strong demand. So you can see here, the offer is just 2.7 million, whereas 7.8 million people want to buy. And that's what's driving. See, now they're already asking for 2.90. And then because there's a very, very strong, it's a bias, the sellers are in power right now. So you can see this is what people are bidding. This is what they are bidding right now. So someone is bidding 2.82 kobo. But the seller is asking for 2.90 kobo. And then the seller has 99,000 of it to sell at 2.90. Now somebody has placed a bid at that 2.90, and that disappeared. Now you can see. So this is crazy. So instead of us talking, so let's just go ahead, because it's 2.95 right now as we are talking. So let's place a bid at 2.90 and see if we can still be lucky. But that is very, very crazy what is going on in the market right now. Okay. So let's do what's going on. Okay. So let me do 30,000. and see. So it's not even letting me to go to that 290 that this individual, this person is bidding 280. This is 290. So it's not even letting me go to that 290 because it's complaining that it is out of range. So the maximum is letting me do is 286. So let's submit. And then if I go to, so I also want to have another window open. That's my buy order. So I see the things I've just placed a buy order. And then what you can see here, Kutix is crazily moving. So by tomorrow, we're going to see Kutix cross the 3 Naira mark. Okay. So I have placed an order at 286. Let me see if I can bump it up to 290 now. Okay. And replace that. So do you see it automatically fills? Do you know why it has filled? So I placed order for 30,000 and then it was automatically filled. Why was it filled? Because somebody had already, and you can see that my 30,000 has been subtracted from that individual. So this guy who is selling at 290, my sale just went because a seller was standing there saying, give me 290, and then you'll get it. And I gave him 290 and then it went. But when I put 286, it didn't go. It could still go. But then with this kind of setup, I am not sure that the price will ever come down, at least today. I don't know if there's going to be a pullback. But since I'm investing for the long term, I don't care. So if I come to the portfolio, you will see, if I refresh, you see the Kutix I just bought, 30,000. You can see that. You can see that. So I just bought 30,000. So if you look at the whole thing, it's now 1.2 million shares. That's what I have. Okay, so the next because I had actually planned my trade before now. So the next, I've done 30 of Kutix. Next, I want to bump up my charms. So this is charms. So this is charms. Okay, and then I have only 532 of charms. So I want to bump it up to 1 million. Okay, so I go to, there's a market view. There's a couple of things I can do here. And then I say charms. And so it shows me, where is charms? Okay, so I see charms here. So I can see what's going on here. But then I go to Infoware to see what is going on with charms, what people are bidding, and then what they are offering. So you see charms, can you see? It's also strong buy, this technical indicator. So there are more bids. There are 7.5 million bids and only 5.2 offers. Okay, what are people asking? People are asking for 232. And then the highest bidder right now is 229. All right, so what I can do so that I don't waste time in the market, I can say just buy at 232. It will immediately clear this guy, or I'm going to say, okay, let me put in 230, just 1 point above this particular bid. So I'll go to my City Trader and then I'll say buy. And I'm looking for the symbol of charms. So this is charms. And then I bump it to 230. And then the number I need for charms is 468,000. Okay, so that will bump it up. Then I hit submit. So I hit submit and then wait to see if this guy that's asking for 232 or somebody else, who's comfortable to sell at market rate can sell to me. So I place that order and then leave it. You can see 468 placed, 0 filled. So the 468 are still open. Okay. Now, the order I want, so I already planned, like I said, I already planned my trade, like how many I wanted to buy based on my funds available for today. So the next on my buy list is UPDC. UPDC. Okay, so UPDC, the current reference price is 3. Wow, and the last price is 310. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So I come here and I'm looking at UPDC, and then it's a strong buy as well. Small bids. Oh, this is still showing me charms. I beg your pardon. All right. There's also more. Okay, in this case, there's actually more offers. There's actually more offers, but the technical indicator is showing a very strong buy. And then the offer here is, I think maybe that's why there are more offers. They're asking for a lot. So what I'm going to do, this person is asking for 3 naira 10 kobo, and then the highest bid is 3 naira 4. So I'm going to do 3 naira 5 kobo, and then wait. You see, this is still not filled yet. This my charms is still not filled. But the moment I replace it to 2 naira 32 kobo, it's going to go. But let's give it a little more time. So I'll come again to UPDC. UPDC. All right. So I want to bid at 3 naira 5 kobo, even though the lowest ask here is 3 naira 10. So I want to bid 3 naira 5 kobo. And then when I do that, I'm going to be the highest bidder, because the highest bidder currently is 3 naira 3 kobo. So I will do 3 naira 5. And then the quantity from my trade plan is 284 965. 965. Okay. Oh, it tells me that I don't have sufficient balance to do that. All right. No worries. No worries. So let's do let me try 184. Okay. It's happy with that. Okay. So I'm going to leave this. No hurries, no fear of missing out. There might be a pullback even in the future for this, but because I'm investing for the long term, I don't really care very much, because in the next 5 years, we are not going to be talking about 3 naira 5 kobo for this year. Neither are we going to be talking about 2 naira 94. Okay, do you see what's going on? So UPDC, somebody has sold some. So you can see somebody has started selling. I'm feeling somebody likes my price, my offer, or my bid. Okay, somebody likes my bid, so he started going. But if you look at charms, that's a very, very stubborn stalemate between the buyers and sellers, because I'm offering 230, and then not even a single share has been filled. So let me go back and see what is going on with charms. Why I haven't been able, out of over 400 and something thousand, I haven't even filled any. So let's see what's going on with charms again, and see if I have to up the game a little bit. Okay, so somebody has even, oh, this is charms. Okay, so it's a stalemate. You can see my bid. This is my bid, actually, 482,000. I think it means that something has been filled. Let me do that, because what I have is force. Okay, no, it's my bid plus someone else's, because mine is 468,000 and this is 482,000. So someone else added. This is my bid. So there are 3 orders here, myself and 2 other people. We are all bidding at 230. We are telling the sellers, calm down a little bit. Life is not that life is not about war. Don't quarrel too much. Calm down. So let's hang on a little bit before I change my order and see whether the sellers will be willing to. And then, but see what is happening in UPDC. My initial order was this, and it has been filled. Looks like, yeah, it's all been filled. That is amazing. So I was able to get a 305, even though people were people were asking and selling at 310. So if you don't know about setting limits, you will just buy at 310 and then you're already losing. So you buy at 310 and I buy at 305 kobo. We already started, even though we bought the same day and we bought the same shares, in another 2 years, that difference can mean 2 million, 3 million. So that's how you use limit. So you see, this has been filled. The only thing that I'm waiting for now before my trade for today is complete is charms. So if you come to the portfolio, you see, if I refresh that, you will see, where is it? I think it was UPDC. So you see UPDC, you see that 184 that was bought. So it brings this up to 300,000. So this one will now be seeking 500,000, while this one will start moving up as well, okay, as capital comes. Today, I hope that if these guys sell, if they agree to sell to me, this will move up to 1 million. But the whole idea that all of them should be at least 3 million. 3 million, 3 to 5 million of each of them. And then I just keep it. Just keep it, forget it. And then 2 years, I'll still come back and then show you this, and then you'll be amazed. Okay, but I just want you to be inspired. Imagine if you buy 1 million shares today of one of these penny stocks. So I'm buying 7. Maybe 7 of them might do well. It might just be 3, it might be 4, it might be 5. But usually what happens is that 1 or 2 or 3 that does very well covers for all of these other ones. Okay, so that is a live demo of how to make decisions in the market. So I thought that some of these things are better watched and demoed for those of us here. And actually, you know what? I still have 133 here. I don't want to leave this money here because by the time I come in tomorrow, some of these stocks I want to buy might already have. So what I could do is, so making decisions on the spot. So this second one is consolidated hallmark. Let me see. I want to make sure that I get charms before I do something else. So let's see. Charms is not, this is stalemate. The sellers are not coming down. All right, so what I'm going to do is give it a little more time. So maybe hang on for another 30 minutes, then I'll come back and then see the standoff between the sellers and buyers, who finally won. Wait a minute, it looks like it has just been filled. Can you see that? Can you see that? Some seller has backed down. Yeah, it's been filled. Okay, I asked for 468, 466 have been filled. So what is open is 2,000. So if you go to the portfolio and see, this is why I like Atlas Portfolio. It's updated immediately. So you see charms. So you see the 466 that was just bought. Is somebody feeling this? And it's gone from 500 to 998. So you see, by just being a little patient, I've been able to, I could say, oh, these sellers are not backing down. Let me do 232. But that 2 naira or 2 kobo that I just saved can mean 20 million naira in another 5 years. Okay, does this make sense, anybody? All right. Okay, so so that's basically it. That's how it happens. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions? First of all, is anybody inspired by what you just saw? Let me know, first of all, before your questions. What have you seen today that actually has encouraged you in your journey to wealth? What you just saw now? Yeah, you can unmute and talk and tell me. What has inspired you in your own journey to wealth?
Wow. Can I speak now?
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
I am really, really, really inspired. Oh my God. In fact, I stay in the UK and I have my driver instructor coming in by 12. And when this came in, I was like, I'm going to miss. I said, no, let me just listen. With this, now I'm happy. It's coming by 12 o'clock. Now, so it's quite encouraging. I have a problem here. I'll call it, let me use your word, stalemate in investing. Now, what advice do you have for me? Because I'm really inspired. I actually wrote down those penny stock, Champs, Kotex, UPD. I was targeting your list. I want to follow your trajectory.
Yes.
Now, my question is, I'm really excited. Now, I'm in the UK. How do I start my investment on this specific mini stock? And I intend buying each of them like you buy 1 million share, 1 million share, because all I have got, I came to the UK not quite long, and you know how it is during that they call it jackbarism. You sold some things, and by share evidence, what brought me here, and all I have got is the shift that I go. And I remember one of your this thing. He says, "It's not Papa. I can't remember how to put it, but I wrote it down, so I don't know for time's sake." Now, how do I get into? Because I remember, sir, 2008, I used to own a cafe back home in Nigeria. And then what happened? Before I started that cafe, it was the money. I was working with, then 2008, if you remember, it is this MTN network. I was working with one outlet like that. The man has about 3 outlets. And I was one of the sales. I had OLD then, raising the seat and all that. Then something happened. The man was attacked and the whole thing came and I had to close some because there was theft. The arm robber, trailed one of the people because we used to carry cash on bike. So, sir, to call those when that happened, you closed the bank and retrenched us. All I had was 2 stocks I had bought, Intercontinental, and one other stock. I like that. I can't remember. I wrote 7, and then all I had was saved because I sold it and I made money to start that. Now, sir, I am now in the UK. How do I? Because all I have got, I have no assets, to be honest. I have no assets. All I've got is the money I make it. But now, sir, what advice do you have for someone like me who has no assets, now no money in Nigeria, and who wants to get it to you? And all I've got is that my salary, like slavery, just put it this month. I was doing one of your YouTube video, and I have a note now. I have been looking for somebody like you. In fact, I said, God, this is a way out. And I prayed, God, please, I need a way out here. And I met you. Just about few weeks ago, I met you. I've not met you before. That's how I connected to you. And when I saw that opportunity to register, I plunged into it. My wife was saying, hey, you are careful. Be careful. I said, this man I have seen, the way he talks, the way I see you do your exercise, I followed you. Each time I wake up, she said, sleep. No, I said, no, let me see if you have dropped a video. I need to follow this man. God brought him my way.
First of all, I think you've done well, and then realizing that you don't have an asset, and then just waking up to, I don't know if you can hear me because I think your connection, or is it my connection? Do you guys hear me? Just thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, so it's Paul. Paul, I think it's your internet connection. We lost you at some point, but I hear you. This is what you should do, and I'm glad that you're in the group. When you bought the shares, the ones that you sold, bought it through a stockbroker, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then you
Yes,
still have that account. You still have that stockbroker account.
Do I still have it? I wouldn't know. That's what I don't know. Because I sold it at that time. There was no electronic. Then it was paper.
Okay, no problem.
Can you hear me?
No problem. So what you will do? Yes, I can hear.
It was paper.
Okay. So what you would do, Paul? In the group, so the first step really is to open a stockbroker account. That's the first step. The good thing is you can do it. All you need is your BVN. You're going to need proof of identity and things like that. Those basic things. We have Atlas Portfolio representative in the group. Ask your questions in the group. Ask questions in the group to open an account. That's what you should do. If you open the account today, you can start trading tomorrow, right from where you are in the UK. So I will advise you to, the first step is to open your stockbroking account. Say that you do it with a licensed stockbroker. not using apps like Bamboo for Nigerian stock market. If you are doing investing in the US stock market, you can use Bamboo and things like that. So now, what you need, the first step is please open immediately after this. Go into the group and say you need to open your stockbroking account. I think Esther already gave us some in the group. Okay? Once you open it, you can now take it on from there. Okay? We can take it on from there. All right, so let's get a few more responses. So Paul, you can unmute. Thank you. Paul, you can mute yourself. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, so let me hear from other people. Was this very useful? How was watching this live? How did it inspire you? What did you pick from it that you're going to take into action? Just like Paul has to start all over again by opening a stockbroking account and doing exactly what I've shown you to do. All right, I got some things in there.
Sorry, can I come in?
Who is speaking?
It's
okay.
Judy.
Okay, yes, Judy, please. Yeah.
The demonstration I saw you make is very interesting. I think I have not seen this before, and it's really inspiring because I would like to do what you're doing in the future. But right now, I don't know how to manipulate the things that you're manipulating. So my question really is, who can do this for me? Is it my stockbroker? And do I have to be calling my stockbroker all the time? Buy 10,000 shares, buy 1 million shares, or do I have to sit down at home and be watching the stock market like you are doing? Because sometimes I don't have the time. I'm free today because I'm not working. You see, so how do we manipulate those things that you're manipulating?
Now, I don't sit down and watch this. I have a trading window. It's just part of my schedule. So I have a trading window. So between 10, for instance, and then 12, I'm already done. Sometimes between 10 and 10:30. Just because we are doing this demo. Sometimes within 30 minutes, I finish my trade for the day and gone. So I wouldn't even say that you let a stockbroker do this for you. It's very easy. You can do it from the comfort of, you can do it while you are moving. You can do it if you're riding a bus. You can do it if you're in the plane and then you have internet connection. Because I've done all those. Flying from Doha to Washington, Juice was 15 hours in the air. And so you buy internet connection in the air. I have done this in an Airbnb where I was staying in Houston. I do this, so it does not interfere. So the problem is not time. The problem is knowing what you're doing. So for instance, you are in the group. So you can start off with my recommendations and then gradually grow into being able to spot these things, yourself. And that's why we have a community there. I don't do public recommendations, but in the group, like this 7 recommendations I've made, it's only within the group and also in my family, in my immediate family. I don't do it there, okay? Because there's always a disclaimer with that, and in fact, even when I do it in the group, there's also a disclaimer because you need to know what you're doing. So just open the account. It's very intuitive, like just what I showed you. You can do it. You do it once, it sticks. And then the only other time, because I don't do it every day. And like I told you, sometimes I'm done within 15 minutes. Like I'm already done. I would already have been done if not that I'm showing you. So the time I spent showing you, okay, do this, go to Infoware and all that, explaining to you, I could have finished and gone on to other things. So please, the matter of your wealth and legacy is it's always priority. Anything that contributes to your future deserves your time in the present, because too many people, to shock you that I say so, but that's what I see in my line of work. Too many people are busy doing into many activities and all that do not contribute anything to their financial well-being in the future. Otherwise, if what is taking my time, because what is more important, for instance, to me, an important use of my time than what I've just shown you? Because what I've just shown you, I'm buying my future and I'm buying the future of the generation of my children after me. These things I'm doing, they are not for me. I'm going to be 60 in a couple of months. In December, I'm going to be 60. So, and I'm not looking for food to eat. I'm not looking for clothes to wear or something. God's been kind to me and I'm blessed. So why should a 60-year-old man, spend this time building his wealth and legacy because of generations after me? And so they can have something so that the children's children can have good education without ever looking for money again. And then also so that I can do the things that are very dear to my heart, especially the children and the youth in Africa are very dear to my heart. So I see myself going to Ghana, going to Egypt, going to Rwanda, going to Zimbabwe, South Africa, spending time in each of those places, building young people. These things have to be sponsored. And as long as I keep working for money, instead of money working for me, I will never have time to pursue these things that are dear to my heart. So please, it's not time, it's knowledge. Don't even want to outsource it before you know what it is. So even if I'm going to ask somebody to manage my portfolio, because there are asset managers who can do that for you. There's ARM, and I think IBTC can do that for you. But I strongly encourage that you know it, you do it first and understand it before you hand it over, so that you'll be able to ask intelligent questions, so that you'll be able to know what are you looking for, so that you'll be able to know when something is not going well, and then be able to have a conversation with your wealth manager. Learn it. It's worth it. It's worth it as much as whatever it is that you are doing right now, because you're building your future. Okay, let's take 3 more. I hope that helps, Judy. Let's take one or two more before we go. Okay.
Yes, so I have one question.
Okay.
Yeah. So you made mention of digital assets. I don't know, do you have any strategy around it? Have you developed any strategy around digital asset?
Yes, and it's an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing learning, for me, because I discovered I've been doing what I've been doing, since 2008 after I left Shell. And in 2009 to 2014, 5 good years, I was on live television doing the same thing I'm doing on live television. Every week, I think it was every Wednesday morning, I ran that program. That program reached millions of people across Africa, because people used to call me from, I was shocked, South Sudan. And then, in fact, the day I got the call from Somalia was, in fact, the most surprising one. I was just telling my wife, this guy just called from Somalia. And then I used to get even from Angola, even though they are not English speaking, but a couple of whatever. So there was massive value I generated, Obinna, at the time, massive value, but it was not being captured. And people were literally even begging me, do you have books? Do you have training? Do you have a platform that we can pay to learn? And I didn't have any. And it continued like that. Then I started teaching Lagos Business School. I'll teach a class and it's fantastic. It's different because I don't teach like an academic professor. I teach like a street boy, and it connects to all these people there. And then for some of you who've been watching my YouTube videos, I don't sound, even though I've taught in the universities, I've taught in how many universities? I taught in University of Maiduguri, I taught in University of Ibadan. I've taught, of course, with Stanford University. I teach in China Europe International School. I still teach in LBS. That's 5 universities. But I don't sound like an academic, because I found that academic doesn't help anybody. So I bring it down to the streets. And if you listen to me, you probably feel that. So I have done so much over the time, but I wasn't capturing value. And I was actually broke because I didn't know, how to monetize. So in recent times, I've been thinking about, yes, create this digital assets, like this financial fitness challenge. I almost didn't start it, but I'm like, okay. I was like, will people read this wrong? I said, well, who cares? Let's put it out there. So, but I said, I wanted to have a group where people can see the truth. It's not all these motivational or these high-sounding things that people come online to talk, very, very impractical. And then you see little boys, in their 20s and 30s, just talking big, big things. But I've experienced life. And sometimes I'm wondering, what are these people talking about? This thing is not like that. Wealth is a process. How are they able to come and tell me, okay, I just finished school yesterday, and then today I'm riding G-Wagon. If you come, I'll show you how to do that. A 25-year-old, how now? And then me at 59, I've seen life and all that. So those are the things I'm capturing into different products and offers that can help people. So like right now, I'm also developing an online kind of school where people can connect and learn at their pace. Some tutorials. This one is group coaching, financial fitness challenge. Then of course I have the ebooks and all that. So these are the digital. When I say digital assets, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about crypto. I'm not talking about Bitcoin or something like that. I mean, I hope that's not what you understand. I hope that's not what you misunderstood.
No.
Okay. Yes.
No, that wasn't.
So now I'm creating a system, because one of the things that I have that have been an obstacle, a challenge for me, is finding people who understand what I want to do. So I've had so many people try to build website for me. They just never get it. They know how to build website, but they can't capture my processes in the whole thing. So it ends up being just a digital signboard. That's why today, all I do is, okay, you watch, then send a message to WhatsApp, then join. But it can be better than that, because those things need to be automated. So yes, and it is also a work in progress, if that answers the question. But we live in a very highly digital world, and I actually encourage every one of us to think about digital assets, because there's a lot of money in them. Okay, does that help, Obin?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Can we take one more, and then I'll let you guys go work. I know some of you are quite busy in your offices. Go ahead.
Hello, sir. You can hear me? Okay, sir. This is Daffy. I really want to thank you for this opportunity. It's so exciting. I'm so excited because I've been a forex trader for like 4 years now. And I think 2 years ago, I had a major loss, I think about 5 to 7 million. So that brought fear into me. And for the last 1 year, I've been out of the market. But deep down, I've always known that the financial market, there is a way out. And see what you just did now with the stock market. One thing I really love what you are doing, you're thinking on the long term, investing on the long term, 3, 5, 10 years. So I really see myself doing what you are doing. If I do the same thing, I know the future for me is guaranteed. So I really want to thank you, sir, for everything you do for us. I see a bright future ahead of us. Thank you so much, sir. I love you, sir.
You're welcome. Love you too. Thank you very much, King Daffy. I appreciate that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is where we are going to draw the curtain today. One of the other things I'm planning and cooking for you is the everyday money concept. Everyday money. In fact, the game will change for you the day you start earning money every day. And it doesn't have to be millions, even if it is $50 coming passively, even if it is $100, it doesn't matter. But the power of everyday money has changed my life totally, more than anything else. Well, thank you for joining our live stock trading session. You can do this for yourself, and this is just a sneak preview of the sort of value that people who join the Financial Fitness Challenge get. It's very practical, and it's about your money, and it's about your future, because wealth is preceded by wisdom. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to lose money. And the Financial Fitness Challenge, we do things like this. So for the things I teach, you can do it. You can do it by yourself. I have all these incredible videos in YouTube. I encourage you to watch them and take notes and practice them. Or you can join the Financial Fitness Challenge. That is my wealth mentorship group. It happens every month, and it is very virtual. It's quite virtual. In fact, in the group, people join from different places. We have people from UAE, from Dubai, from South Africa, from UK, from Canada, from US, from different walks of life, agriculture, IT, military, police, all kinds of people. Such a wonderful community to be part of. And so it only goes for 105,000 Nigerian naira. And once you join, that's it. You are there, for life, learning from me and from other people over there. Or if you don't have naira, and you're paying in dollars, it's $105 only. So this is 105,000 naira that can change your life practically forever. So if you want to join the Financial Fitness Challenge, do so right now. Send a WhatsApp message with just one message. Send me payment details. That's all. You already know how much it is. So just say, send me payment details, and then we'll tell you how to pay. And then you will join the group immediately and start getting value. Whatever happens, keep showing up, because you never know what's coming your way next. And I'll see you in the next video.